I don't care how good this figure is, I'm already deducting a point because there's no ice cream with this figure. From Bandai's Dragon Ball Dragon Stars line, this is Beerus version 2. They released a Beerus all the way at the beginning of this toy line, and I owned that Beerus for a while, and I didn't like it. This is the new take on the Beerus. From what I can tell, there's some different hand options, there's a little bit more paint. I don't know how much the figure has actually changed, though. If you look on the back, there's not much. Literally just Frieza was also released in this wave. That's great. And yeah, so we get to see what Goku and Vegeta's boss looks like, while still being on year 5 with no Whis. Getting Beerus out of the box, and I have to say, I'm really impressed with this figure. There's some issues. He's definitely not as good as, say, the Cell or the Cooler in this line, but he also has some great standouts. Not the least of which being the fact that because he's such a thinner figure, his proportions are so much different, and the articulation actually works a touch better. So, just going through that now, we have a ball joint at the head. Unfortunately, it is greatly restricted due to the sculpt of the head. We have a universal at the shoulder, we have an upper arm rotation, double jointed elbow that goes very deep, universal at the wrist, we have a diaphragm joint that gets you a good bit of motion. We have a really well done universal at the hip with drop down hips on top of that. We have a double jointed knee, but unfortunately it only gets you to 45. And then you only have rotation at the foot. Due to his small feet, he can have issues balancing, but not as bad as some of the other figures in this line, to be honest. Alongside all that, he does have a tail, which is on a ball joint, so you can get a good amount of range out of said tail. The paint, of course, is also very well done. I quite enjoy how they picked out the eyes with that black paint, very accurate to the actual design of Beerus, and the blues and the golds and purples, of course, all work well together. Let's be honest, Beerus is one of the best designs to come out of Dragon Ball since, the original run, so it's really nice to get a figure that really matches that design. Beerus does come with some hand options. He has 2 open hands, 2 closed fists, and also this one more gestural hand. You could use it as kind of a pointing. I was using it to kind of cup his chin as if he was in thought. This is a weird hand, but you can get some use out of it. Like all Dragon Stars figures, the thing I can say is I wish he had more. I think an alternate head would have been great. Really, that would be my big wish with Beerus, is alternate head, but, with what you get, this is still pretty decent. Overall, I really enjoy Beerus, more so than the Vegeta, the Goku, perhaps even more than figures that I haven't reviewed quite yet, like Bardock. What I will say is, I think his proportions can make him a touch hard to balance, and like all Dragon Stars figures, I wish he just had more options. But with all that said, for a $20 figure, this is still pretty spectacular. So for all those reasons, I can give Beerus a pretty solid recommend.